Greetings, Captains, and welcome to another episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus One. I'm Rear Admiral Tarek of the heavy battlecruiser USS Rommel, as we continue our campaign against the Romulan Star Empire and attempting to take over the planet of 21-9. And planets and tiles seem to have shifted a little bit here, so before things can get too far out of hand, let's immediately set out and see if we can't close this noose, because I would like to actually stop them from being able to break out at all. So a scout mission is a good mission for us to take on. It's a nice, safe operation that we can sneak in, do some stuff, and get out if at all necessary. So, red alert, increase speed. It is a dreadnought. It is a Condor of some... Heavy Condor, was it? CNH. I'm assuming that's Heavy Condor. Not 100% positive on that. So we're going to have to do the exact same thing that we did a couple of episodes ago, where we're going to sneak in, scan him, and try and get the hell out of here. Because I do not feel like dying. With that in mind, we will prep one of these as an absolute last-ditch emergency measure, of which we will attempt to avoid having to use, because if we have to dump a wild weasel at any point in this operation, losing that much energy is going to be a big problem. So, let's close in on him and hope that he's not packing a whole bunch of fighters too, because that would be, well, that would cut down our already limited angles of attack. And that's something we really can't afford to have too much of happening. Have even more speed that is now available, so we're going to kick this up. And in fact, I'm also going to come in here and do that, because I want to try and avoid his incoming fire. We're going to have to get up to maximum speed and just, well, dance around him as fast as we possibly can. We're about to go up to full power because our photon torpedoes will finish charging, and that'll give us some more energy to sap away. Unfortunately, until this is done, oh, we're really on the limits of being able to hit maximum speed, aren't we? That's an interesting problem. Yeah, maximum power. Just full energy. I don't care that I don't have enough power to charge all the things. No, we are actually going to keep that on. That's fine. Although he is countering us. Let's go in here. Wild Weasel's ready. Deep scan begin. We got to get within a range of 10, but preferably not anywhere that he can see us. Let's dump our missiles now. He did fire a long-range phaser barrage our way. I think you're going to have actually Plasma D defenses, though, because if you don't, I'll be really surprised. That's a lot of torpedoes. Set them to the stern and pull away. Yep, he does have D-type plasma torpedoes. Hi. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about you, because I don't think that I can shoot missiles into plasma torpedoes. I think I've tested that before, and the answer was decidedly no. So, shield reinforcement on the stern, and he is still chugging along at high speed. Oh boy, this could be a problem. Now this out of missiles, just to eat up any sort of incoming firepower that he's going to send our way. Again, we don't want to get too close to him, but we're not going to have a whole heck of a lot of choices here. Got to get within a range of 10 to do what we want to do. We're within a range of 10. We have no mines. Got to keep that in mind. Come on, come on. Give me the data information that I need, that I require, that I wish to know. And this to this. Come on. We got it. All right. We're out of here. So, this to nothing. This to full power, and we're gone. Oh god, we're gone. I don't think he can catch us. Could be wrong. Send missiles his way. See if we can't make him not want to do stuff. He's only launched 2 of his defenses, and he's had to grab 2 more. Excellent, so that's now forcing him to bleed power. It's not as big a deal for him. I think he spends 1.5 points of energy per point of speed, so not a huge problem on his end. Unfortunately, he is starting to accelerate up to speed. I would like to be much further away from him than what we are at now. Oh boy, come on. Don't let him... Nope, he's going to go to 31 with us. He is going to be right here with us the whole day. That's going to be a problem. Yep. More missiles. Just massive missile bombardment the whole time. 2. And he'll have to hold 2 more. He'll have to hold several of them. Yo, that's why. Because his defensive plasma torpedo is way back here. So when it fires, it has to go the entire length of the ship if it wants to come up and do anything about it. That's actually pretty funny. Far away into the edge of the map, please. Because we can't take many more hits like that. We don't see the edge of the map. And also, our stern shield is failing quite heavily. Oh god. And we don't have any real way of stopping him from following me, because we are out of wild weasels. Or no, we're out of mines. We're running low on missiles. And he's cloaking. Oh, thank goodness. He cloaked, which means he couldn't use his defenses, which means he lost his forward shield, which under normal circumstances I might try and engage on, but our stern shield is already pretty badly wrecked, so we're just going to run. We're going to take this opportunity to get as far away from the enemy as at all possible, We have the data that we require, and yeah. We keep running into their dreadnoughts for these sorts of missions. We keep spying on their main primary fleet. And there's the edge of the map. Let's go. Fast as you can. Get us out of here before we die. This is a really, really big map, too. Because normally it would take, not much less, but less time in order to actually get off of this. But this is one of the bigger, clearly one of the bigger scouting maps. As we finally make it close towards the red line, so we can actually jump on out of here. I believe you can also set up a hotkey to automatically warp out, but I think this is a more fair way of doing it, making it so we actually have to run off the map before we consider ourselves to have fled the area. Otherwise, it's just too easy. You know, things look like they're getting bad. Just hit the flee button. We do want to have some measure of challenge here. So we did manage to actually succeed in our mission because we got good scans. 320 prestige for doing that. Didn't take the tile, though. I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised. I mean, we did, after all, run away. And it's a base assault, which is not something I'm looking forward to. Although this would significantly weaken the ability for this base to defend against us. Because if we destroy it, well, do we have any help? No, it's going to be us versus them. Ugh, against the Firehawk. You would, wouldn't you? Alright, set their proximity mode. Set their Wild Weasel. Increase speed, and we're going to have to play the long game, as has become our custom. We'll just pick up speed and start shelling him. And hopefully we won't have to get anywhere near him and therefore survive. Increase the speed of time because it's just going to be a little while until we get close to him. Again, I think it's something of a larger space station that I don't think we can take on our own. With friends, maybe. On our own, as low on ammunition and everything as we are, probably not. But at the end of the day, part of this is just to show off and demonstrate that we are better than them. Start with a long-range bombardment of missiles and photon torpedoes, and immediately begin to turn away. Let's use all of that speed so that we can run, although we're also going to need quite a bit of energy to negate his electronic countermeasure shifts. There we go. That's our speed. So now we run away. Maximum power. Because this is going to be long. Missiles are not getting through. He's got all kinds of defenses, although he did have to waste a Wild Weasel in order to do that, which is fine. Come back around, wait for the photon torpedoes to be fully charged, and photon torpedoes. Looks like he got 2 hits at long range. How are we doing on power? Should be charging them both at the same time. Yes? Yes. Okay. So we just got to stay as far away from him as at all possible. If we get too close, we're in trouble. That's the only way of putting that. And unfortunately, because he's a Firehawk, he's going to be able to catch up to us. So we're just going to have to continually try and mess with him. And mess with the AI a little bit. He is high energy turning. Get, oh, 4 good hits right on the stern. That's 16 damage. It's not terrible. 16 damage to a stern shield, especially a heavy cruiser. That's good. That'll serve us quite well in the battles to come. Hopefully we'll knock through his shields entirely before we end up having to actually engage him. But you never quite know on that. We're going to have to turn away from the edge just a little bit. He is putting his stern towards me. 4 more good hits right on the bow. We'll keep running away from him as fast as we can. Shield reinforcement, if at any point you ever get shields, go on these ones. Because I do believe he can catch it. Yeah, he can catch up to us pretty handily. So run away at full power. Photon torpedoes are going to be ready for another strike. Unfortunately, he is a little bit closer than I would prefer him to be. And the angle's not very good. Oh, God. Oh, that didn't work out. Well, at least we're right by the edge of the map where we can run away. So, missiles, if you don't mind. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. He did dump all of his weapon systems, so we're going to go normal. I'm going to very briefly see if I can't force my way into winning this fight. Because he only has 2 S-type plasma torpedoes, which got through and managed to cause pretty bad damage to us. He is through our armor, no doubt by now. However, if I can deal enough damage to him up close, that might be worth it anyway. So phasers, photon torpedoes on bare hull, and too close for missiles. Unfortunately, we're also going to have to show our stern to him, which we really don't want to do. And so he is forced to hold on to a few of them. That works out for me. So let's fix this phaser here. His plasma torpedoes are not charging at full rate. Then again, neither are we. So let's slow down to make sure that we can. We need to let those phasers get in there as much as possible. I would love to dump a mine. Unfortunately, I just do not have the ability to do so right now. Yeah, he dumped a mine because he can. Prepare a high energy turn. All weapons select. I'm going to need that angle. Come on, bring me around right now. There we go. So, open him up a little bit. More missiles, which led to, frankly, I think that's a misplay on his part. Hey, if I wanted to capture, start it. Start the process now. We'll see if we can't cause something havoc-like here. Crap, that plasma torpedo's ready to go. Actually, hit and run teams, I need you to kill the starboard side one. And if you've got any weapons at all, now would be a really, really good time to start using them. And I really, really need to dent that like right now. Because if he gets that full turn off, we're in trouble. So we need to knock that plasma torpedo out before he can do anything with it. We're stunning it, but we haven't killed it yet. Gotta kill both of those plasma torpedoes right now. We might get a photon torpedo round in before hit and run target destroyed. His starboard side one. How about his port side? Come on. More photon torpedoes. We are causing splash damage back to ourselves, but it is necessary. And he can't stop them all. Huh. Nice. That could have been much worse than what it ended up being. Okay, so we have a lot to get done. Not a lot of power to do it with. So let's head back into the map. Somewhere in this, somewhere out there, there will be the enemy with which we will need to defeat. Why are we not getting full power? I'm seeing that we're not properly charging a system, which has me a little bit concerned. We have a lot of damaged systems. We have no shuttle, so we don't need to repair the shuttle bay. It's going to be a Romulan base, so we don't need to have the anti-missile defense systems. There's something wrong with the photon torpedoes. Oh, and we're out of missiles. Yep. This is not a great way to start a base assault mission. I don't think we can accomplish it. But we're going to peek in, see exactly what it is we're dealing with. Send a probe. It's a much faster than us. It travels at what, speed 150? It's all over here. Hi, it's a battle station. What does a battle station have? Start to slow down so we can get the forward shield reinforcement going. And send a probe. See what it is we're dealing with here. Oh, didn't have him targeted, so he's got an R and F, and we might be able to shell him out. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 phaser 4s. If we stay at long range, we might be able to shell him. I'll need to send another probe, because I need to confirm exactly his shield status. It would be really difficult. Oh, he's got pseudo-frigates. Great. Photon torpedoes. Proximity. Run. Run now. Run like the wind, Bullseye. Oh, God. Spread it out. Spread it out. Oh, we're gone. Oh, God. Just make for the border. There's no fight in this. The addition of the pseudo-frigates just makes that too much. We're out of here. We have finally met our match where we just have to say goodbye. Nice to know you. Pull off this map right now before we get killed. So we were able to deal with the Firehawk without too much trouble. Yeah, there was a bit of a misplay. We dumped the Wild Weasel a bit late in order to have the S-type plasma torpedoes stopped, but we still managed to take care of them. But that base station is just, no, that is not within our capabilities to take out. So we're out of shuttles, we're out of mines, we're damaged. It's time to go home. So let's set a course for Starbase whatever. Hello, Starbase whatever. Shipyard. Let's see what there is. There's a New Jersey class that we could take on. The New Jersey class is packing 6 photon torpedoes in a forward-firing arrangement, which is quite interesting. However, I think I've made my thoughts pretty clear on this. I much prefer the BCGs that we're currently flying. The Kirov class, I find them to be much more capable. Space Control Ship is within our grasp. It's 3,141. That's actually really cheap compared to what I thought it would be. I am not seeing any X-type vessels. And we know they're out there. We've seen little X refits. They're just not there. Now what we could do is we could buy a second battlecruiser as just a supplementary force, but I like to try and avoid that. If I get another 1,000, if I sell this ship, how much? I could do that. Shipyard. Doing that against Romulans though is really dumb. So what I'm thinking of is if I sold my ship, if I bought the cheapest thing on here and sold my ship, I could probably afford a BB. Oh, the BBVs are now out. Unfortunately, the problem with that is Federation battleships are slow. They are not nimble little nippy kill machines. They are big wallowing siege tanks. Unfortunately, the Romulans outclass us in every possible way when it comes to that kind of firepower, so getting up in somebody's face like that is not a recipe for victory. Unfortunately, we could just buy an SCS. It's the biggest carrier we can get, aside from a battleship carrier, which carries fewer fighters. So if we were to buy an SCS, this would completely change how we played. And also we would have to sell the Rommel so that we could have the SCS as our primary vessel. Because we're not flying this game without having the Rommel as the primary ship. I'm gonna do it. So buy the Steffens. That's not a fun name. Trade in the Rommel. Go back to the shipyard. And I believe there was a BCG available. There he is. Buy you as well as our escort, the MacArthur. We still have 2,000, which I want another escort for. We're actually really close to being able to buy like a full battlecruiser escort. The problem that this is this will increase the difficulty of our future missions, so we need to keep it in mind. A heavy command cruiser? Nah. We want an escort, something more thematic. So, frigate escort? No, I'd like a destroyer escort more. Or an HDW WV, which is a heavy war destroyer carrier with 6 fighters. Not quite. And CM is a Miranda class, which is quite nice for siege operations. Yes, we are spending a little bit of time in here because we haven't really gone the whole breadth of the Federation tech tree in a while. An NLF is a light... Not sure what an NLF is. It had question marks for its actual title, which tells me that it's missing an important descriptor, but that's all right. We could buy a base station. BSFR, we'd go on a special mission to actually establish the base. We haven't ever done that before. Yeah, we've never actually done that before. Because normally we actually take the sectors with the stations intact, and so there's no reason to grab those. HDWE1 is a escort. It's got 3 photons, 3 missiles, 4 phasers, 2 phaser 3s, and AMDs. It's not terrible. Sure, let's buy a heavy war destroyer escort to round out our force. The C.S. Lewis. It's back. So we'll come to the supply now and actually fix things up. We do, of course, need to go maximum admin shuttles across the board. That way the AI will properly utilize them. Otherwise, because they'll actually use the Wild Weasels. They'll also use scatter packs, which can be really, really bad. But hey, we'll go Type 4 missiles. We'll go maximum numbers. And mediums. It's really not what we're supposed to be doing. I may change these down to Type 1s to get 80 missiles. But we're going to have to think on that. The Kirov, of course, is going Type 4s, maximum reloads, and mediums as well. And we're going to save the rest for shuttles and fighters, because we're down to 889. Hi, we want, if at all possible, vultures. 2 and 3. Yeah, I think we want vultures. I'm 90% positive we want vultures, not ravens. Because the vultures are the heavy fighter bombers, and that's what we want. So buy those. That's all good. A couple more Marines just to make sure that we don't get taken. That's relatively important. Buy more mines. Buy a whole bunch of spare parts so that we don't die. I hope we don't need them, but you never know. So we have completely now changed playstyles. We've gone into a carrier group. And let's see if that will serve us any better as we go on a mission. A surprise reverse is an excellent mission for a carrier group because fighters, it allows us to get in there and annihilate things. Red alert and increase speed. Also decrease the speed of time because we're at maximum. So here is our brand new carrier group. As you can see, our wonderful gigantic vessel, which I really do want to rename because we've already had a ship called the Steffens. And Steffens for a carrier? Not a fan. We're going to have to think of something else. Also, our little heavy war destroyer, the C.S. Lewis. It's just the C. Lewis, but we've been calling them the C.S. Lewis for a long time now. As well as another Kirov-class battlecruiser, the MacArthur. And escorted today also by the Gothic, which appears to be the pirates helping us out just a little bit. So yeah, the SCS is the biggest carrier that the Federation can possibly field. It carries more fighters than even their battlecruiser carriers. Or their battleship carriers. As you can see, we have a full through deck right here. Deflector dish is a little bit lower than it would be normally on most other ships. And forward doors there, and rear doors here. So the entire length of this we utilize for the operations of our fighter groups. So let's actually focus on what it is we're trying to do here. And I need to focus the enemy, and that's why. We need to unzoom. Hi, we're coming to kill you. Fighters, deploy in attack mode. Actually, probe. Let's find a probe and figure out exactly what we're dealing with. He's got a little bit of anti-missile defense, so fighters in harass mode. So operating from harass mode, they should stay outside of range of the missile or the anti-missile defense systems. Although, that may not be so much the case on the Romulan vessels. We're going to have to find that out probably the hard way, and hopefully too many ships won't get killed because of that. And we're just setting up our weapons groups right now. We actually have as much firepower as the Kirov class that we just got out of. I only managed to hit one of them, but then again it was pretty long-range shot without using proximity, but we're going to get right on top of them and just blast them with everything we've got, mainly phasers. So closing to range. Slam everything we've got into them, and you know what? Follow that up with a point-blank range missile barrage. I really do think that it's probably the better idea that we use small Type 1 missiles just so we can use them as to seed incoming fire. And as you can see, our vultures sticking to long range, firing their missiles, and pulling out. Yeah, we're definitely going to switch to Type 1 missiles. They're not going to deal a whole lot of damage, but we'll be able to precede enemy defenses. You've got anti-missile defenses. You do not. And I don't know what you have, so we'll send a probe. Find out exactly what it is we're dealing with here. You also do not. Alright, so fighter groups. Vulture. Attack. Attack. And here. Attack. And attack. So a very different combat style than what we've been doing this entire campaign. Much similar to what we were doing with the Romulans, although the Romulans, it was... the pseudo-frigates definitely backed up our battleship, whereas the fighters are our main striking weapon now. Proximity photon torpedoes? Oh, we're too close. And there we go, mission complete. Our brand new carrier group causing the damage, the absolute havoc that only carriers really can do. Hopefully we won't get punished for now fielding an entire fleet of carriers, because the AI likes to increase the difficulty based on how big your fleet is, and we've picked up quite an interestingly large fleet. There is one more tile before we can encircle and fully grab this guy. Unfortunately, there's no mission there, and we are at the end of an episode, so we're going to have to pick this up next time. Our brand new carrier, the Steffens, which I'm going to look into probably renaming at some point, because Steffens for our carrier? Come on, let's get something cool and interesting. Something carrier-like. I'll probably have something come up for the next episode. Anyway, until then, I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.